Welcome into Coffee and Conversation with Coach Tony. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Brian. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. So, Coach, we had a question from last week's episode. Someone said that their brother was going to Greece with his school in January, and she wanted to know if you had any food recommendations for him while he was there at Greece.
How much time do you have, Brian? Because I can give you an hour's worth of recommendations. A few staples, I would say. Obviously, traditional dishes. Pasticcio is kind of like our Greek lasagna, you would say. Moussaka is a version of the pasticcio, both eggplant. Paella, which are like lamb chops at a meat place, and then obviously the fresh fish.
Okay.
That's my top four. Plus, gimme stuffed tomatoes, stuffed peppers. Those 5 dishes are probably the most traditional staples in Greece. But everything is really good. There's no wrong choices there.
Is he bound to like at least one of those things, or is it something that like he might not like think is too tasty as like someone from Greece?
I think the pasticcio, the moussaka, and the gimme sta they will like.
Okay.
The lamb, it's like eating kind of venison here, you'd say, for Americans, right? If you like deer meat, some do, some don't.
Yeah.
Some people like lamb, some don't. I love it, so for me it's great. The seafood, that's a little different there. Like I said, it's not filleted, it's the entire fish that they grill for you.
Okay.
So they'll clean it for you with the bones and stuff, but it's a little different when you see the fish eye looking at you and stuff. So I would say 3 of the 5, no problems. The other 2 is just a matter of giving it a shot and trying it.
Okay. Before we go into more questions here, for next week's episode, we're going to have a special guest on. So let us know who you guys want on next week's episode, whether it's another coach or a player. Just comment who you guys would like to see in the next episode for next week. Coach, let's go back to last week, 2 games. Starting with Gardner-Webb, you guys got a 4-0 win there at Gardner-Webb. Talk about that game and what you saw from your girls and getting another clean sheet there on the road.
Yeah, anytime you go on the road, playing a school similar size, it's good to get the result we got. They have a new coach, so they're playing with a renewed sense of urgency there at Gardner-Webb and trying to prove themselves as players. The coach came from North Carolina, playing North Carolina, I should say, for Anson. And then was at USCA again and was successful there, along some other stops. So they're a very organized team, a good team. But to go out there and play with the potential that we knew we could, especially after Asheville, how we felt we dropped the match, knowing that we had chances to score in the game, to come out and get 4 goals was rewarding. Knowing that we're on the right track as far as offensively going, and defensively, obviously, to get a clean sheet is always a challenge, always a goal of ours every match. So I was happy to go on the road, take the result, and come back for the on Sunday.
And then Sunday, you guys faced the number 7 team in the country in Alabama. Not the result you guys wanted, but what did you take away from that game? Were there some things you thought the team could build on from that game, especially now that, or even just through non-conference play there? It was the first loss of the season on Sunday, but are there some things you think you can build on from either that game or from non-conference play as we go into conference play here?
Yeah, I mean, we challenged our team. We try to play at Power 5 once or twice a year. A couple of reasons. One is to prepare us for the NCAA tournament, and if we make that run, that's kind of team in your face. Secondly is to kind of give us a reality check. On paper, we played 9 games up to that game. Some games we should have won, some games were even. But it's good to be humble at times to get exposed, especially before conference. We don't want to go in too confident at times. We knew it'd be a tough challenge. I mean, they're 7th in the country for a reason. They were in the Final Four last year. Really good team. And going back and watching the video and breaking it down and seeing how it was, they did a really good job finishing the 5 chances they had. They dominated the game, but it wasn't a game that we were bunkered in defending the whole time. We played with them, and there's moments and spells we played really well. We just had isolated moments. We had some breakdowns. So we weren't engaging, we weren't aggressive enough. We were in all the right places, we just didn't have the aggression to go slow down or step in and deny a shot. So to their credit, they buried some beautiful goals. I mean, those would be goals for the highlight reel for them at the end of the year. But I was proud of how we battled back, being down 3-0, to cut it to 3-1. And that's probably the biggest disappointment I have from that game, is to finish the half down 3-1.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we conceded 2 more goals, go to the half, 5-1, again, to their credit. But I was proud of how we bounced back, and we challenged the team at halftime. Listen, this 45 is over with. You're going to go play conference at Chat. This is when it starts right now. You prepare right now, you play this next 45 minutes like you're preparing for Chattanooga on Thursday. And we pushed ourselves, and we came out with a clean sheet the second half. It was a 0-0 game. They kept their stars on, they kept playing, so I was proud of the resilience we showed that 45. And that carried into today's training session, so I was happy overall. There were some growing moments, we learned some things.
Sure.
It's a good challenge for us, so I'm glad we did it.
Yeah. So you mentioned in a previous Coffee and Conversation episode that you played goalie as a kid in soccer growing up. I'm curious, did you play any other sports besides soccer growing up? And like, why'd you stick with soccer? I'm guessing you just like soccer more than any other sports that you played as a kid?
Yeah, first true love obviously is soccer. I played it my whole life. I also I tinkered baseball for one season.
Okay.
I was a catcher. I had to be in the action. It just wasn't for me. The batting part I wasn't very good at.
That's hard.
Yes, I played basketball through junior high. I love basketball. I watched basketball on TV, college, and NBA. And then I played football in high school. I was the kicker for 3 years. Had a couple offers to go walk on and be a kicker, but my true passion was soccer.
Okay.
But I love all sports for the most part and try to watch everything and support the teams here at Mercer. But yeah, football would say was the next one, and then basketball for that.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
So conference play starting up here on Thursday, going to Chattanooga. I'm just curious, does the preparation or like watching film and scouting other teams, is it any easier now that we're going into conference play, knowing that you've played teams before, every single year, going in and you're familiar with the players and the opponent that you're going against? Does that change like the way you scout and go into games or make it any easier? Is there any difference there prep versus non-conference?
Yes and no. There's more video now, so every team will have 6 to 10 games, let's say, of video we can watch with non-conference opponents. But like any sport, you don't always show all your cards the first few games in non-conference. So our goal is to see any tendencies, any repetitive patterns from, let's say, Chat or UNCG in the first weekend, but also look at last year what they did and what we did. Personnel changes, obviously, for all the teams. So it's good that there is some information out there. There's more data. You know what kids are hot, getting goals, assists, and shots. You can't, disconnect that part, but knowing that there always is something else. I've been in the conference now since 2014. We feel we know the coaches and the programs, and how they're going to do things, but it's the players and personnel that sometimes changes. And we have a freshman that we haven't seen a lot of video on, and what's she going to do. And to be honest, it's more on us now, so we're adding some more layers to what we do things. We didn't come out the first 9 games and show our hand, we had a full house. We're going to show 2 of a kind only. And what can we do now, the next step, to kind of give us an advantage as Chat, and another advantage as G, and moving into next weekend's games against Wofford, and so on and so on.
Sure. Coach, thanks for your time, and best of luck this week.
I appreciate it, and go Bears!